Hi there, for this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how I create my content calendar for at least 3 months at a time and how you can also create your own content calendar. So I did a similar recording this morning and it turned out that I had no volume. I completely forgot that my computer stopped working. So now I have to do everything all over again. So it'll be a little bit of a different format from what I initially recorded. Yeah, technical difficulties, that happens. So, in preparation for the 21 days blog challenge, I wanted to provide you ladies with some resources that you can use to prepare for it because the challenge will be starting in about 5 days from now. So, I want to make sure that you can plan things out and get things rolling. So, I also noticed that one of the pain points that you have in a group, and I have that too, is staying consistent. And one way that you can be sure that you are consistent is by planning because we all know that if you fail to plan, you've already planned to fail, right? So creating a content calendar will help you to make sure that you actually stay consistent and you can also write more because somebody said that they want to write more content this year 2019. So and all day in the past, it took me like maybe 5 hours actually to create my content calendar because I created a content calendar for two different niches, so my hair niche and for the blogging niche, and I had to make sure that things flow, and I did some research on Google and stuff. But I'm just gonna show you the quick way to create your content calendar. So I purposely created a content calendar for the next 3 months because I don't want to have to be doing this process every single month because I want to make sure that I plan a little bit into the future but not too far into the future, right? Because sometimes some people will create a content calendar for a year and something changes after 2 months and they have to change everything all over again, right? So I just created for each quarter. So I created my content calendar for the next quarter, for the first quarter, so January to March. Now for me, so the way I actually did it is I did a brain dump of the different blog post titles, ideas, topics, and different things that I want to talk about this year, and I organized those blog content based on my offers, right? Because I'm gonna be offering my products, services, and the different paid products, right? Because that's one way that I monetize my site and that I get paid as well, right? So each month I make sure that my blog posts, they relate to whatever offer that I'm going to be offering that month, even though my offer is actually quite similar, right? So I'm going to be showing you everything very shortly. So I have a few notebooks. So this morning, right, I so when I planned out my content calendar, because initially when I recorded this video, I didn't have it, like I was about to plan it, and then it turned out the video didn't even have a sound, so I had to scrap it. So this morning I used mainly these two notebooks, so I had to go to the store and buy these notebooks. But initially, what I usually use is just my planner. So this was my planner for 2018, and it's pretty much all used up, and I need to get another one for 2019, but in the meantime I'm just using my notebook. So this is actually my journal because this year 2019 I actually want to get into journaling. Sometimes I will do it and then I stop, but this year I want to make sure, God help me, that I actually stay on top of it, right? But this notebook, this is what I use to take notes, plan out anything that I need to do for for my business, right? So you're gonna see, like, I wrote some notes, and because I had to do some research on Google, right? And I just wrote out things that relates to what I want to talk about. And then this notebook was what I was using before I purchased these two notebooks. So I had some ideas that I had already written from there. So pretty much transferring everything that I had written in my notebooks, and also I would also take notes on my computer as well, right? But just to make sure that everything stays in one place. But I'm the type of person that writes, and studies have shown that when you write stuff down, you are more likely to retain it in your memory much longer, right? Because our muscles are connected to our brain, right? So when you go through the physical activity of writing stuff down, your brain is registering it. But when you're just typing stuff, it's the same motion, right? the same motion or this, right? So it's very easy to forget, right? So I'm like a physical kind of gal, right? So that's why I was using this, and also my computer, because my computer, that way I can just, let's say I'm off somewhere for the weekend or whatever, and I forgot to bring my notebook with me, or I didn't want to bring my notebook with me. At least I can still do stuff because I have most things in Google Drive. And because lately as well, I've been changing laptops, so, or sometimes my laptop will just crash, and then so I've been, disciplining myself to use G Drive, and I'm going to show you guys how I use G Drive, even though I'm more proficient with Microsoft Office, and that's how I'm presenting this slide right here. So let's get into how to create 3 months worth of blog post content. Even though, right, even though this challenge is only for 21 days long, but at least you can have something to work on, right, after the challenge has finished. So let's get right into it. So like I said, I've already planned out my content calendar. So, but I'm gonna show you a sample of how I plan out my year. So for the blogging niche, right, three topics I want to talk about mainly. It's Pinterest, monetizing, and blogging. Pinterest, monetizing, blogging. Even though, so Pinterest, it's actually my main topic, and Pinterest actually spills over to blogging and monetizing, right? So what I did, like I said, I did a brain dump of different things I want to talk about, and I, you know, typed everything here under different columns, right? And I also did some research, and also the fact that I've been talking about Pinterest and I've been pretty much blogging for a number of years now, even though I've only been focusing on the blogging aspect, meaning showing other bloggers how they can crush it blogging, right? So I sort of know what people talk about, their questions, the pain points, what they need help with, and what other bloggers are also talking about. So I think I might have to do a different session. I think I have another video on how to do keyword research and how to find blog post ideas online, especially using Pinterest, but I will create another content for that. So Pinterest monetization, blogging, and I just wrote everything out. And what I did was, I'm like, okay, so for the next 3 months, what do I want to talk about, right? And then I went and then I italicized them, right? And then it got confusing, so I'm like, okay, let me just um color code them, right? I color coded everything, right? And then what I did, right, was okay, so the first month I'm focusing on staying consistent and the blog challenge. So what I did was I just went, right, and then I grabbed each title, and then I just went and posted them. So my blogging days, so this year, because I want to grow my blog traffic by Q2, I want to have at least 10,000 page views, right? Every single month, right? So 10,000, that's about maybe 300 or so, I think, right? uh, page page views per day, right? So I need to make sure that the blog posts that I write are evergreen posts that people are actually looking for, posts that will solve people's problems, right? So I need to make sure that at least I can get that traffic, and my main traffic strategy will be Pinterest, right? So that, and my blogging days, I've decided to blog 3 times per week because I want to go hard, right? Uh, 3 times per week. Although you can choose to blog only 2 times per week or 1 time per week, right? But because for me, because I want to go hard and quickly grow my blog traffic, right? And one way to do that is to write lots of content, not only about the quantity but the quality, right? So you want to make sure that your blog posts are high quality content, right? But again, the more content you have, the more established, the more different posts Google and Pinterest can show to people. So that's why, at least for the first 6 months, I'm blogging 3 times per week. For most of this content, I already have them because in the past 6 months, I've been doing live videos and stuff, right? So it's just a matter of, redoing those videos and then creating blog posts for them, right? So it's not like I have to start from scratch. So I posted that, and then, okay. I think this is what happens when you have too many windows open. Okay, So I'm just showing you a sample, right? And then let me choose this one, how to monetize your blog. I just showed you guys something that so Bay, that's the name of my blog, Blog and Earn. Okay. And then I want to choose one about blog. Okay, let me choose this one, blog post ideas and writing more. Let me choose this one, creating a content calendar, right? So I'm just showing you an example, and I'm going to show you the content calendar that I created today. Okay. So let me just change the colors here, so it's easier for me to know. So, okay. So like I said, I plan to blog 3 times per week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So I just went and I just posted stuff because this week I might not have the time because I need to actually set up the website. I did have a website I was using before, but then I changed my blog name and everything. So I just decided to just move everything over. So I plan to, have everything all set up by tonight so I can launch that website and start promoting it on Pinterest. So that's why this week, not so much is going on. So pretty much this is what I do, right? So step number one is to figure out exactly what you are going to be writing about, the topics that you're going to be writing about, right? And that's going to be based on your niche, right? So you can go do some research on Pinterest or Google, right? And the next will be to create an Excel spreadsheet or Google Doc or whatever, and just brain dump and just dump everything on one page. Just put everything there, right? And then next, you're going to go and organize those blog post ideas, right? So how many times do you want to blog per week? Is it once per week, twice per week, 3 times per week, 5 days per week? And this also applies to YouTubers. So if you are a YouTuber and you have a YouTube channel, this applies to you as well. It's the same process, right? And then you're going to go create your content calendar and just, copy and paste those ideas, right? Like you don't have to do the SEO research right now because right now what you are planning right now is just okay, on this day this is what I'm going to write about, and then you're going to go do some research, you go find keywords to use, the SEO and how to optimize that blog post, right? So usually for me, I do that before writing a blog post. So the first thing I need is obviously a title, right? So I have a title, I have the outline, and then I can go figure out, okay, so what title do I want to put in my, what keyword do I want to put in my title so that I can, I can rank over time, right? So don't worry too much about that, the whole SEO stuff right now. Right now, you are just creating a content calendar so that, on days when, you have a brain freeze or you can't think of anything to write, your content calendar who gave you some ideas, right? And for me, initially, I was going to use this page right here, but then I just got overwhelmed, right? Because I'm like, okay, what should I do first? What should I write about first? What should I create a video on first, right? And it was just all over the place, right? So then I thought, okay, you have a Google Calendar for a reason, and I actually have G Suite that I pay for on a monthly basis. I'm like, okay, you should probably go use that. You're already paying for it. So I just went created this, and then Google will actually alert you. So you can set reminders here to remind you like 2 days before. So you make sure that you've written the blog post and it's ready to be published by January 8th or January 10th, January 12th, right? So let me show you my content calendar, what it looks like. So it might look a little bit overwhelming because it's mainly for two niches, right? My natural hair niche and the blogging niche, right? And I color coded them so it's easier for me to know which one. And eventually, once I launch my podcast, I'm going to add that. Even though the podcast will pretty much be the same content that I created a video and a blog post on. So it's not like I'm creating something from scratch, just repurposing your content. So let me show you what my content calendar looks like. Show you guys my secret here. Okay, so I want to see a way. Okay. I want to see a way that I can take out one part. Okay, so you can see right now I have stuff planned out, right? For Q1. And then because I had some ideas and stuff that I want to, that I've already written out, that I've already planned, that I've already created a draft on, right? So I just went and I just posted everything there anyway, right? Let me just show you guys, right? So just a rough sample, just a rough sample, right? Okay, because sometimes life can get in the way, and you might not, for a whole month, you might not even have the time to, you know, to write, right? But when you have this calendar, you know, okay, so this, so let me just choose one. So on March 2nd, I'm supposed to write about how to monetize your new blog, right? So what I'm gonna do from March 25, because that's Saturday, March 25 will be okay. Let me go and create the blog outline, right? And then okay, let me go and start writing stuff. And then maybe Tuesday and Wednesday you write stuff out, depending on the blog post. Some blog posts, especially the hair niche, some blog posts, you know, takes me only a few hours, but some blog posts, you know, particularly for the blogging niches where you have to go grab screen captures, you know, you tag them and everything, sometimes they take a little bit longer. And for me, I don't mind spending time writing high quality blog posts now because I can see the effect of blog posts that I wrote years ago, right? And the fact that those blog posts are still bringing me traffic today. Right, so I don't mind spending that extra time on it because I know I'm creating something for the long term, right? So Tuesday and Wednesday, I might write the blog post, and then Thursday will be when I will go edit, polish, whatever, create, you know, the Pinterest pin or whatever, right? So at least by Saturday, it's ready to launch, right? So that's what I would usually do. Usually that's what I do, right? So you can see here, right? So Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, that's for the blogging niche. So that's where I'm going to be creating content. Some of these contents, like I said, I already have them, you know, I already have a video on them. So what I plan to do will just to go write blog posts or some videos that I created using Facebook Live, and maybe the connection wasn't that great. All I have to do is just go and recreate the video like I'm recreating this video, go write blog posts and publish them, right? Right, so you know it shouldn't take that much of a time, but what takes a lot of time is marketing. But because for me, I use Pinterest, right? So Pinterest really doesn't take me that much time because the only the only section that you're going to spend time on is creating those Pinterest pins. So sometimes I create my pin, sometimes I, you know, I pay other people to create my pins for me, right? Because again, I'm creating something for the long term, right? And then, you know, make sure those pins go to group boards, tribes, communities, using tags, you know, keywords and everything, right? So that years from now, those pins are still bringing me traffic. And once in a while, I might go back to that same pin and optimize it even further, right? Optimize it even further. Okay, lady, so this is a sample of my, what do you call it, of my content calendar. So just in case you have more than one blogs, you can use my system as well, whereby you use Google Calendar and you just color code stuff. You color code them, right? So for the hair niche, my brand color, well, my brand colors are purple and gold, so I choose purple. For this niche, it's like the peachy color, so I chose this color, and I put the acronym, right? Babe, blog and earn. This one, CG, coins and glory, right? So just in case you have multiple blogs, or you have a YouTube channel, and then you have, you know, a blog or whatever, right? Even though, you know, your blog content and YouTube channel will be the same thing, well, as long as they are in the same niche, right? And you can also use this idea whereby, you know, I brain dumped all my blog post ideas, and also I did some research on Pinterest and Google to see what people are talking about, pins that are doing really well, and then I just went and I put them here. And also I have a course as well, Boost Your Blog. So the course content also gave me blog post ideas, right? Because every time I write, you know, those blog posts, then I have a way to promote my course, right? Like, oh, by the way, I talk about this, you know, in more detail in Boost Your Blog, you know, check it out, click on this link or whatever, right? So there's a purpose to every blog post, right? And so let me just share one last tip with you. Okay, so in January, I wish there's a way I can take out this part. Anyway, so in January, we are focusing on the blog challenge, right? Even though I plan to do monthly challenges, right? So in January, it's all about consistency, right? And staying consistent and writing more blog posts so that you can continue to rank on Google SEO, right? So let's see, January. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, like, the first few days in January are a little bit blank because I'm working on planning right now. Okay, so on Saturday 5th, that's when the first blog post will go out because the challenge will start on the 7th. So what am I supposed to write here? Okay, so for the Saturday, even though right now I have like I'm creating the video right now, but I will go and create the blog post, right? So that by Saturday it's all ready. So the first blog post that I'm going to publish will be how to create a content calendar in 2019, right? And then the next blog post, it's about Pinterest tips for 2019. Again, this is very general because there's another blog post here that I think I'm going to merge. I'm going to merge it with this one, right? But again, that's where it's so good to have this list, right? Because when I'm done with all these ideas, then I'm gonna go and write these, right? Or sometimes when I start writing a blog post, I'm like, okay, this can actually turn into like a 5 post series, 3 post series, 7 post series, right? So one blog post sometimes can create more ideas for blog posts. And once you start interacting in Facebook groups where your ideal audience hangs out, then this list is just gonna get longer and longer and longer and longer, right? Because when people ask questions that you haven't written a blog post about, you're just gonna go copy that question, paste it on here, go on Google, see if other people are asking those questions, and if there are blog posts on that same questions, and then you're just gonna go grab that question, blog post idea or whatever, and then paste it on your Google Calendar. Guys, it's that easy, right? So just in case you're thinking of, okay, where do I get blog post ideas from? So many, and I think I have a video about that as well. Okay, so let's just go, right? That's the sample, right? And then let's see. And then the next post will be how to use Pinterest for your blog, right? And then the next post is how to optimize your blog, right? For Pinterest, right? Because remember, I'm talking about what Pinterest, monetization, and blogging, right? So I try to make sure that each week has at least one of those topics, right? Right? And then February is all about monetizing your blog, right? So let's see what has to do what. So I don't have a blog post, or maybe it's March. What's February about? Okay. So February it's all about traffic. And now I remember. And then March it's all about monetizing your blog, right? So that's why these blog posts has to do with traffic, right? How to set up smart loop, right? How to join group boards, right? Because that's how you can, grow your blog traffic. How to write blog posts for Pinterest, right? So that you can go viral. How to find how to find and pin to group boards, how to create pins that go viral, right? So these are just ideas. Obviously, these titles, I'm gonna go do some research on Google and think of a better title for it, right? So what to do on Pinterest daily, how to quickly grow your small blog as a beginner blogger, right? um, Blog post ideas and using Pinterest, right? So making sure that those blog posts they relate to whatever offer, challenge, whatever activity that's going on for that same month, right? Okay, all right. So that's pretty much it for this video content. So just in case you have any question about content calendars, how to create a content calendar, or you are a complete beginner or newbie and this maybe went over your head, right? Don't be shy. Leave a comment below this video, and I'll make sure to come back to it. And if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please make sure you do subscribe and click on that bell so that you can be notified of new videos when it comes out, and I will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, there should be a content update. So usually I love to give everybody a freebie, right? Everybody who watches my content or who reads my content, a freebie. So below this video, there's gonna be a checklist, a free download that you can download. That's gonna be prepared and ready to go out before January 2nd. January, let's go see. Yeah, so by January 5th when this blog post comes out. All right, ladies, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.